And we live. Happy Wednesday and welcome to another Everybody Can't Go Convo. I'm your host, Jessi Holley. And I'm look, this week, y'all. Okay, so I've been reading the comments, checking the chat, I've been seeing the DMs. I don't know why y'all always tell me what you think in the DMs. Go ahead and put that in the comments so that y'all can talk amongst each other. I'ma still answer you. Still answer y'all. But last week we talked about getting back to the vision. And it made me think about how even though there are like different tweaks, I talked about different edits and different stuff like that that you will make to your vision, and thinking about all the things that happen when you do revisit your vision and all of those other things. It made me like some of y'all comments and some of the things that people were saying in the DMs. It made me be like, okay, let me hone in on the topic for today. Let me hone in on this thing. And basically, sometimes you're going to take a different route, but it is still, or a different route, but you are still going to the same destination. And we've talked about this concept over the years a few different times, but this is one of those that I find myself, I make the podcast for y'all, but I be talking about me. Okay. There have been, I would say in like the past year, maybe past year, a little more, there have been a lot of instances where I have had to reroute like GPS. You know, GPS will like relocate you. If you make a wrong turn, it it simply does this little thing. The map turns, it shifts, and it reroutes you. It does it within seconds, right? Okay, now I'm not saying that we need to operate like machines, that we need to be AI. Let AI be AI, let the machines be the machines. We will be human. We will be the people. Okay? While we're doing that, we need to pay attention to whether or not we criticize ourselves when it's time to recalculate, recalibrate, realign, revisit the vision. When you're driving, like in real life, when you're driving, and GPS, you make that wrong turn or you miss the turn and GPS reroutes you, GPS doesn't criticize you for having to reroute you. It simply just does it, right? Because the point, the goal is the destination. So even if you make a wrong turn, if you miss the exit, if you miss the turn, if you take the wrong freeway, the destination still stays the same. Just because you made any of those missteps, we'll call them mistakes, any of those missteps while you're on a road trip, while you're driving to wherever it is that you're driving to, you always make a wrong turn when you don't know where you're going and you're running late and there's traffic. Okay. So there's like high urgency and it's important at that point, and you just making yourself later because you made the wrong turn. If that happens, GPS doesn't take the time to be like, you passed the exit, where you going? Oh, you taking a different way to get there? You always messing up something. You know what? You should just give up and not go. Are you sure this destination is meant for you? You're a failure at this. GPS don't do none of that. All of those criticisms, all of the things that come in when in life we made a wrong turn or in life we missed the exit, we take the extra time to stop and be like, dang, insert negative thought here. Let's start to be more like GPS. Okay, it was a wrong turn. The destination is still the same. Are you going or not? You made a wrong turn. There are some correct turns to fix that problem, to remedy the wrong turn that you took. Even if it's a dead end, that wrong turn that you took, you can turn around. Whether it's a cul-de-sac to turn around in, or whether you need to do a 3-point turn and turn around and go back to where you came from, back to the point where you know that you made an error. When you're driving, that's how you get unlost. When you have GPS, you just go ahead and simply follow what is the new set of directions so that I can get to the destination. The only thing it's going to do is add time. The good thing about keeping such a mindset is sometimes GPS does us a little favor. Sometimes it have a nice little nugget for us. It has a little function that says, do you want to save 7 minutes on your route? Yes or no? Hurry up and make a decision because you're going to have to take this exit instead of the one I originally recommended because I was looking at where the destination is and the ways to get there. I already recalibrated for you. Do you want to save time or you want to stick on the route that you're on? You get to choose. That same mindset that we have where we will start criticizing ourselves or allow others to criticize us because we have made a wrong turn or we got stuck at the light, we took the wrong exit. We'll let everybody else criticize us, but they're not helping with, or we criticize ourselves. And that's not helping with getting to the destination. If we're open to the issue happening, but we're still going to continue moving forward, and we're going to continue rerouting while it's happening, we can also be open to when an opportunity, the right opportunity for us and for what we're doing, what we're going after, presents itself and says, hey, you want to save 7 minutes on this route? Yes or no? What you want to do? Choose quickly. This is why last week I wanted to drill in on getting back to your vision. Because that, do you want to save 7 minutes on the screen in real life? What they give you, like maybe 15 seconds or 10 seconds or something? Like if you driving and you don't like look down at GPS, sometimes you'll miss it. You know, that little movement, it kind of just catches my eye, but that little countdown bar, that thing be going fast. But you can accurately choose whether or not you want to save the time or not. Now, I'm back to talking about in your life. If you really did take the time to listen to the episode, dig in, and do the work, and actually went back to your vision, when it pops up in life and it's like, hey, you want to save 7 minutes? The route is going to be a little bit different, but here's this opportunity. You can quickly assess whether or not it's the right one. Take advantage of that opportunity and save that 7 minutes on that route. You'll have analysis paralysis if you haven't taken a look at your vision lately. You just kind of think you remember what you wrote and what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build, what you want. But when you know what you want, you know what the goal is, you know that the destination is the same no matter what has happened. Good, bad, the ugly. The destination is still the same. But we can be getting rerouted all over the place, even rerouted from the things that are beyond our control. That still does not change the destination. So, to make it practical, I want you to think of it this way: changing your strategy is not abandoning your vision. Your vision, that and the goals that are on the path to your vision, that is the destination. The route is the strategy to get to your destination. So changing your strategy is not abandoning your vision. This is why we're looking at rewriting and realigning post reset, or making the proper choices when we are resetting so that we're prepared to properly and strategically realign. So that when we reroute, we're not rerouting and it's adding 25 minutes when we could have just listened to GPS and followed their reroute and it would have only taken us 2 extra minutes. That's strategy. I mean, when you want to get there, 30 minutes later, or you want to get there 2 minutes later. I mean, you get to choose, but I know what I would pick. So, a couple of points that I wanted to be sure that I hit with you guys. I wanted to talk about why we resist changing our plans. Because when we're looking at getting to our destination, usually like we plan what way we're going to go, right? And I think I like the GPS analogy because when you are born and raised in the city, which I was born and raised in Detroit, right? I know how to get to everywhere in the Metro Detroit area. Like I might use GPS here and there. And even if I do, I can literally just look at the directions and be like, oh, okay, turn off this street. This is how I find the house that such and such is having a housewarming at or whatever, right? But then when I relocated to another city and got to the DMV area, Lord, y'all know I love the DMV. Y'all know I like it out here. And shout out to the hometown. I love Detroit too. From D-Town to the DMV. That's me. Okay. But when I got here, all my cousins and them, my friends that live here, they're like, it's easy. So I thought, oh yeah, Frenchmen designed the layout of Detroit. You know, all of our streets is crooked, but it's like, no, it's the diagonal ones and then it's the ones that's on the grid. So it's like, yeah, they tried to convince me it's the same thing in the DMV. Absolutely not. It is not the same thing, okay? When I looked at the map, it's darn similar. And if I recall correctly, I think the same Frenchman designed the layout of the streets for both. Similar, but once you get here on the ground, baby, it is not the same thing. When I tell you I need my GPS. And there's a difference between knowing how to get somewhere and avoiding the traffic and avoiding the construction. Those are things that, yeah, it don't matter if I left early. You can leave early and still be late if you get caught by traffic or if you get caught by construction. 696 probably still tow up right now. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is it still is it still tow up? Is y'all still rerouted? You still driving on the wrong side of the freeway on the piece of it that is open? Okay. So you can leave early and you did everything that you were supposed to do so that you could get to your destination. You made a plan and you plotted your route. You planned your route before you left the house and you planned the extra time so that you could make sure that you were to, what is it? To be early is to be on time and to be on time is to be late. You were like, yes, I am going to be on time. I'm going to get there a few minutes early. I don't have to rush. You did all the right things. And then that red line shows up, that yellow line shows up, that this perfect plan that you had is now slowly ticking extra minutes onto your arrival time. That this construction, this says, well, no, you can't come on the freeway right here. And as a matter of fact, this is going to be closed until the fall. But since you don't watch the news, you didn't know that until right this morning when you needed to get on that freeway. And they said, oh, nope. This entry ramp that was open last night, we closed it at 3 a.m. so we could start construction a week from now. But no, it's closed right now. So you did everything right and you made this perfect plan. Now what? This is why I said, let us have our minds to be more like GPS so that when it's time to reroute, we can skip over the festivity. Even if you're having your little rant, beat the steering wheel and still, you know, reroute while you were having your rant. Because you have to keep moving, you have to keep going. Because you still got to get to the destination. You still have to get to the event. The goal still needs to be accomplished. So when we make our perfect little plan for how we're going to get somewhere, we start just naturally as people. Most of us, we resist changing plans. A few of the things that I thought about now with those of you that are familiar with the flight assessment, and if you're not, I have a treat for you. Go to reset.everybodycg.com. And there is an add-on to the reset method where you can also take advantage of getting your flight assessment. Yes, that was a shameless plug. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. So when we're thinking about some of the personality styles in the flight assessment, some of us are more susceptible to resisting change in plans. So pilots, we will just whatever needs to be redone, whatever needs to be done. Because like, look, the destination is all we care about until we actually get there. Reroute away long as we get there. The flight attendant, sometimes when it's time to reroute, we could get a little flighty. See what I did there? We can get a little like, oh well, now I'm distracted with we can still have fun on the way. Let's focus and make sure that the reroute is the one that we actually need to take. Let's make sure we're doing the 2-minute reroute, not the 25-minute reroute. Okay. And then we have our GCs. You know, I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Don't. But it's like, oh, the plans changed. Say what? So actually, you need to, I don't even trust you like that. Are you sure? Give me the new breakdown. Well, we're actually still deciding what the reroute is going to be. Well, I'm going to just sit right here until y'all figure out the new plan, which I already don't like it. And then after you make the new plan, I'm going to check it. And when they check it, they're going to tap on their ATC buddy and say, hey, analysis paralysis this with me because we got to make sure that every T is dotted and every I is crossed on this plan B to get where we're going to get. And we ain't going to even think about, do we need to change plans again just in case? So across those 4 personality styles, take a look at, are you naturally susceptible or is your natural preference to resist changing plans? Now, it's not a bad thing or a good thing for you to resist changing plans. I'm just saying that you need to be aware. And again, if you're wondering what I'm talking about with the flight attendant, pilot, grounds crew, and air traffic control, head over to reset.everybodycg.com and you can get your flight assessment and a private 30-minute coaching session with me so that we can walk you through that 20-page report that you get with the bundle for the Reset Method 30-day program. So we can resist changing plans because of our ego, because of our pride. Nah, I made the plan. I did this. This is good. This is good. We have to do it my way. Do we? Or are there an infinite number of possibilities on routes to get there? You're just married to your route and your path on how we got to get there. Do we have to get there that way? What if we can't? Is there an alternative that's just as well? Is there an alternative route that, okay, there were some mistakes made, there was a wrong turn, there was a lane closure, there was an exit closure, so we couldn't get off where we were supposed to? Is there a different route that can be taken so that we can still get there? That it's the next best thing when all of the conditions weren't perfect to get to that destination. Do you have a fear of looking inconsistent? Well, I always go this way. I always do it like this. Just because that's the way it's always done or always has been done, if you're going to stick to that, are you really growing? Is your mind really open? Are you learning? Are you expanding? To be strategic and improve on you get the thing done or the things done. If you are just stuck at, I'm going to look inconsistent, well, sometimes you at least need to take a hybrid approach. Everything can be done with a waterfall method. And sometimes everything can be done with the agile method. You got to find a way in the middle. Do you have a fear of disappointing people? Well, I said that this is how it was going to go. You have a fear of disappointing yourself. This is what I thought. This is where I thought I was going to be by ... Because on your timeline of things, you didn't account for, Big God being like, hold on, little dog. This not how it's about to get done. Do you have a fear of disappointing people or yourself if you have to adjust the plan, if you have to reroute, if you have to change the plan so that you can get to that destination? Are you worried about a sunken cost mentality? I'm going to lose more if I go this way. It has to be the first way. or else. It has to be the first way. Or I'm not gonna have, I'm not gonna, all of those I can'ts, I'm not, I won'ts. And again, I'll ask you, what if it's something that is blocking you that is out of your control and you've already done everything right? You still have to be prepared and open for rerouting to make sure that you get to that destination. So, some real life examples that I wanted to point out, since I've been using mostly that GPS analogy, some of the real life examples in places where I'm like, okay, you may have to take a different route, but you still have the same destination. When you're looking at taking a career pivot, now look, resident millennials and Gen Zers and some of my Gen Alpha. Hopefully, y'all just get ready. But I would say like a lot for the Gen Zers and the millennials especially, and maybe some of the late Gen Xers. That career pivot, boy, look, when we was growing up, they said it's going to go like this. What we were taught was very linear. I can just tell you that the ghetto experience of adulting, it has not been linear at all. It's been more of like the shape of a rhombus or something like that. I don't know, a octagon, a balled up piece of paper, scribble scrabble, if you will. Okay. So when we're looking at career pivots, sometimes you are, look, most people I know, they got a job or two on their resume that it literally don't even make no sense. It don't even make no sense. And it's like, well, why did you, this is why you can't always listen today, because if they was from the wrong school of thought, if they actually getting their pension check, 9 times out of 10, the career pivots that you are forced into or have to take, people to get a pension for real and their pension actually paid out, they ain't have to, sue for it, if you know what I mean. There was a very linear career path and experience. So some of the career pivots that some of the rest of us may have to take, be forced to take. Your job is here one day and is gone the next. For those of you who have not embraced all the technology that you can or made sure to continue upskilling, you might find yourself being pushed into a different industry or a different path than what you originally planned. And honestly, nowadays, with how fast technology is moving, you have no choice but to pivot in your career. Because if you choose a path now and you think that you're going to follow it for the next 20 years, I guarantee you the path that you choose now will be outdated within the next 24 to 36 months. You have no choice but to look at your career path and be prepared to pivot, be prepared to reroute so that you can get to the same destination with, I mean, usually for career, that destination will be a certain salary, a certain dollar amount, a certain set of benefits, a certain nest egg for your retirement, all of those types of things. Right? Or number of investments, dot, 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 dot. Real life examples, same thing in entrepreneurship. And I think most of my entrepreneurs, y'all already know, like this day and age, y'all already know what's up with the pivots, with the like, look, entrepreneurship is, especially if you are a startup or a new entrepreneur, like all you doing is rerouting, rerouting, rerouting. Like you look, as soon as you get something finished, look, here's a new software program. Here's some new improvements. Oh, the market don't want that no more. Oh no, that was viral last week. Mm-mm. Okay, so we only got so much budget. And with the way that the economy is set up, like, okay, I know last year we paid you this much of money. We can only pay you to half this year because the budget. Entrepreneurship is a set of constant reroutes. The destination is still the same. What is the vision and mission of your company? Why did you build it? Who was it meant to serve? That is the focus so that you can keep your eyes on the destination. Now, I'm not gonna say don't get pissed off about the reroute sometimes. That's why I said bang that steering wheel and you rant while you are rerouting. Because you can't just stop the car in the middle of the street because you can't get onto your entrance ramp onto the freeway. And I'm picturing a very specific entry ramp onto 696 when I say this. But you can't just stop in the middle of the street and be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. You have to keep driving down the service drive past that entry ramp where you cannot get on. You have to figure out your reroute in real time or allow the GPS to reroute you. Real life examples, the same thing happens in relationships. Whether we're talking romantic, platonic, friendships, business relationships, work relationships, friendships, what is the purpose and the vision that you have for the relationship? Sometimes you have to take a reroute. Life happens. We know life be lifing. And even though everybody can't go, there are instances where how many times you and your bestie look when somebody going through it, and if both of y'all going through it, check a few episodes ago, okay? If both of y'all going through it at the same time, that is reroute. Look, some reroutes are in order, okay? When it's time for growth, when we're making a commitment to self, a commitment to a program, a commitment to an education program, to a spiritual journey, to doing like a 75 hard or a new exercise regimen, going on a detox, a cleanse, doing a Daniel fast, any of those things, that is going to cause some reroutes in relationships. Not just the communication, but how much time are you spending together? How much leisure time do you have for socializing and for fun versus you needing to buckle down and pay attention to what you're doing? What pivots are needed? What reroutes are needed so that you can be successful and get to the destination? If your destination involves that, okay, you've made a commitment, you like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Remember, it's not going to happen in a week. And if it do, yikes, would not recommend. But if that is the final destination, you can't go on a run every Saturday to that amazing bakery to get those delicious cinnamon rolls. You can't eat a cookie every time you get stressed out. Shout out to the MPP fam. I'm still going strong. I ain't back on it, y'all. But really, you do have to make some commitments and make some changes. And when you decide on that path, even while you're executing on that path, you have to be prepared for the reroute, not only on the journey that you're on, but there are going to be reroutes to the relationships as you were accomplishing that goal and the thing. You have to make the adjustments. Other real life examples, parenting. Everybody think their kid gonna come out perfect from childbirth on. You have to be ready for, okay, we still got the same destination. We want a healthy, happy, successful kid in the long term. We'll say milestone number one is get to that high school graduation, an amazing day. So you can be teary eyed and cheering them on. You have this perfect 18-year plan in your head, a perfect 17-year plan in your head for how it's going to go. Dare I say, all the parents drop in the chat, how many reroutes that you have had to make or go on once you had to take into consideration the baby, the kids. I have to call all of them my babies. Some of them doggone babies is grown. They almost 30, but my babies nonetheless. They're reroutes to that perfect plan for how life was going to go. Once you discovered that the babies have their own personalities, they have preferences. The personality preferences may be on the opposite side of the chart from you. Y'all are both going after the same set of goals, but you're going to take different paths, different routes. You have different motivations. They're learning themselves. You're teaching them things. They're also learning things from their environments, the outside world. learning some new things that you may not have even been exposed to. They're bringing stuff back home. Mom, look at this. Let me tell you what I found out. Hey, come here. They shoving a phone in your face. Look at this. Okay, so this is fake news. This video right here is AI, but this one is real and this is fascinating. All the things. Other real life examples I talked about a little bit, health journeys and faith journeys. You think that it's going to go a certain kind of way. Yes, I am going to join the 30 days of prayer hotline. And I'm just going every single day, I'm going to be in there. This is a new habit for me. I'm just going to join the line. And after that, I'm going to run 5 miles every day for 30 days. Did you make a contingency plan for you stayed out the night before and you missed the prayer call? You didn't wake up at 5 a.m.? That 5 mile run that you were going to go on, did you make a contingency for what are you going to do if it's raining? You still running? What you going to do if it was a blizzard overnight, if you far enough north? Because please believe, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, some, what's that place? Milwaukee. Y'all know it'll happen in a heartbeat. You will go to sleep and the grass is green and you will wake up and it's like, why is it 12 inches of snow outside? How you going to run your 5 miles then? Rerouting, rerouting, rerouting. Even if you don't have a contingency plan for those types of things, interrupting your health journey, your faith journey, you have to be prepared to reroute because the destination is still the same. Just because you missed the prayer call doesn't mean don't get in your 30 minutes, your hour of prayer. It doesn't mean you skip a day. 12 inches of snow, that doesn't mean don't get on the treadmill. If you can't make it to the gym, that doesn't mean run in place. Run up and down the stairs. You can still get your steps in. Now, you might be on everybody's nerves up in that house, but tell them go outside and build a snowman while you're running up and down them stairs until you get your 5 miles in. And do you really need to do 5 miles if you're doing stairs? I think, yeah, some of my fitness gurus, y'all hit me in the comments. Let me know if you running stairs instead of running 5 miles flat. And you cut it and just do 2.5 miles on the stairs, and that's the equivalent. Or just check on your Apple Watch or something, your Fitbit. Once you get to the same amount of calories burned, you can about kind of call it even, but you have to be open to the reroute. I won't even say if you want to run 5 miles in the snow, be my guest. I ain't going to even say that because I'm just thinking about the type of equipment needed. And I don't want nobody coming back telling me how they done injured themselves and they done had to cut off your frostbitten toes. I'm not even going, because the point is sometimes you have to take a reroute. You have to take a detour. You have to figure out another way to get the thing done, another way to the same destination, another path. And it always can be done as long as you choose to let that be an option so that you can get that thing done. So make sure that you know the difference between just straight up quitting and recalculating. Recalculating is embracing that new path, forging your own path, that reroute where you might have to take some extra time, being prepared so that when you do have to reroute, sometimes you are able to save some time because unexpected blessings and opportunities might come across your path but you got to be prepared to be able to discern whether or not that opportunity is for you or just a good opportunity. Quitting says, you know what, forget it. Bump this. I don't believe in a destination anymore. I don't want to go there. I don't want to get there. It don't even matter. The recalibration says, okay, I'm learning something right now. My ramp is closed. I'm about to learn a new way to get there. Well, the path ahead of us is blocked. You know what? We can't go under it. We don't got to go through it. Instead of climbing up over this thing and just making our way through the path, it will probably be less resistance for us to go around and reroute. with the path being blocked. We don't have to get cut up, scraping our elbows and everything else, trying to climb up all of this stuff blocking our path. There's a safer path over there where we can forge our own path, or there's a little road less traveled over there. We might have to, you know, go single file down that smaller path over there, but it's still going to get us to the destination. Embrace that recalibration, that rerouting. As you're looking at realigning, getting to your goals, make sure that you're staying open and that you are keeping in mind that the destination is what matters. How you get there is always going to be variable because even when you do everything perfect, somehow, some way, somebody else gonna find a way to F up your perfect plan. And no shade, because sometimes that perfect plan that you had, the thing or person that messes it up, sometimes it's big God. So what we gonna do when it's that one? So for my leaders, I want you to think about it in this way: that strong leaders don't cling to broken strategies, they adapt. Sometimes for those of us who go to a 9 to 5, it's easier to think about it from a work strategy perspective, but that is something that you can apply directly to your personal life as well as you are going after your personal goals. Sometimes it's right in front of our face. We know the principles, we know the execution, we know how to do it. We just apply the information to selective environments. Remember that you can apply it all across the board. And when you're thinking about it in the personal aspect, I want you to think about, are you protecting the plan more than you're protecting the purpose? Are you protecting your plan to get there more than you are protecting your purpose? Your purpose is in the destination. That is what you should be protecting, not the plan, because the plans can always change. And even when somebody or something else figures out a way to jack up your plan, they can't jack up that destination for you. As long as you make sure that no matter what, you still get there. So that is all that I have for you guys on tonight. I thank you for tuning in for another Everybody Can't Go Convo. A couple of housekeeping things for you guys. Make sure that if you've been enjoying yourself on the reset and the realignment series that we've been going through this summer, head over to reset.everybodycg.com. There is still time for you to join the Reset Method Challenge. That is available to you. You can also add on that flight assessment if you have not yet taken it, and you get a 30-minute private coaching session with me. Everybody Can't Go, the book that became the brand and now a movement, and also this podcast. You can head over to www.everybodycan'tgo2.com and order your copy today. Or you can go ahead and search us up on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com, and you can find Everybody Can't Go, the book there. And make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, send this episode to somebody else that you like, you know what? Such and such needs to hear this. Go ahead and share the episode over to them and make sure you tell them to hit that subscribe button. We love it when you subscribe. And if you just so happen to be listening because you're with someone else, you can search Everybody Can't Go Convos podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And let's see. I think that is all that I have for you guys on tonight. Any of the links that you need, you can find them below in the show notes. And also, if you would like exclusive content, giveaways, and promo codes, prizes, anything that I'm just like, and bonus episodes, and all the rest of the freebies that I'm just like, you know what? I'm feeling generous today. Go ahead and hit the button below so that you can join our exclusive subscription to Everybody Can't Go Convos, the podcast, where you get a ton of freebies, bonus episodes, insider info, and a ton of promo codes and different things. And anytime I get the hookup, I pass it along to the people that are a part of that community. So I thank you guys for joining me on tonight. And I will see you guys next right here, same time, same place, 10 p.m. Wednesdays, 10 p.m. EST for another Everybody Can't Go Combo.